Yo, what's up, guys? I got another review for you here today for a movie I just picked up yesterday along with Hellfest. I didn't know it was being released, but that's Death House, put out by MVD Visual and Cleopatra. Now, I've been hearing about this movie probably off and on for like the past 2 years, and I've been hearing a lot of things recently that the movie is just awful and terrible, and I'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah, they're dubbing this the Expendables of horror. You can even tell by the cover. It's going to be like an Expendables of horror type thing. And one thing I do have to gripe about the cover, they have Freddy's glove in the design there, and Robert Englund isn't in this, which is shocking that Robert Englund isn't in this because it has pretty much every other horror star ever. But yeah, essentially this takes place in a prison, and it's filmed in a real prison in Pennsylvania. And Dee Wallace is like this head doctor here, and she brings these two agents in, and they're doing like these experiments with the prisoners. And Kane Hodder is like the head honcho prisoner here, and there's a lot of other prisoners here, like what the hell's his name? Bill Moseley and Michael Berryman, and just a ton of them to name. Sid Haig. Even Tony Todd makes an appearance, not as a prisoner, but he's like in the beginning and the end. It's always cool to see Tony Todd. But yeah, the story is really all over the place. It gets really bizarre. Like the soldiers are in some kind of virtual reality thing where they can commit their crimes while sitting in their cell in a virtual reality thing, so they can study the behaviors of a lunatic and all that. It's a really weirdo kind of story. It goes really all over the place, and then like halfway through it gets darkness pretty much, because it's kind of like a lockdown situation where all the power goes out, so all the prisoners are escaped, so they gotta weave through this prison while all these escaped prisoners are going crazy. And then they goes into some magic witchcraft stuff, and then there's some paranormal stuff, and it's just way all over the place. Now, do I think it deserves all the hate it's getting? I don't think it's that bad. I think the only reason it's getting so much hate is for how hyped up the movie was and for how many genre stars there are. That's the only reason I think it's getting shit on. But I think if this was any other kind of movie, it wouldn't be as shit on. But it's just cool just to see all these horror people in one thing. You even get like a little cameo somewhat of Gunnar Hansen. And there's like a Leatherface kind of rip-off character called Leatherlace. And I think it's supposed to be the daughter of Gunnar Hansen. And yeah, there's that. And then there's this whole thing with these three dudes in there. They're like the three Satans. And it opens this thing at the end where Bill Moseley's like this. The reviews now sounds crazy. It's because the movie is literally as messy as I'm describing it. Some of the effects look really good. Like there's one scene where Tony Todd's like reaching in this woman's stomach. It looks cool. And like R.A. Mihailoff from Leatherface 3, he gets his face ripped off by Kane Hodder, and it's done really badass. But there's these like skinless like prisoners that there's one that's like eating a baby. So there's some really cool gore effects in it, but there's also some really terrible shitty effects in it too, especially towards the end when like Bill Moseley's in this like space suit looking thing, and there are Michael Berryman too, and they're all standing around, and there's this really shitty smoke effect and really bad CGI lighting effect, and it's all over the place when it comes to effects, But I still recommend giving this a watch just because of all the people in it. Barbara Crampton has a decent amount of screen time, and she looks hot as ever. Kane Hodder's in it a lot, and everyone knows him. Bill Moseley, Dee Wallace, Tony Todd, Gunnar Hansen, Camille Keaton. I don't know if that's the original I Spit on Your Grave actress or the new I Spit on Your Grave actress, but there's Lloyd Kaufman. Felissa Rose, Vernon Wells, Adrienne Barbeau is the narrator. So, there's so much people in this that it's worth checking out. Also, there's a lot of titties in it too. So it has that kind of throwback element to it also. But yeah, for $10 at Walmart, I definitely recommend picking it up, giving it a try. It's not going to be for everybody, but it's not as bad as all the people are making it out to be. I thought it was an entertaining, like, midnight movie kind of watch. It had a really low budget, just kind of midnight movie feel to it. It felt almost like a Grindhouse type movie. Just something they would have done in like the Roger Corman days. It feels like a new Roger Corman movie, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's my review for Death House. I think it was an okay week for Horror Hellfest and Death House in the same day, so that's kind of cool. But anyways, guys, that's just my quick review on that, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.